Welcome to an episode of Careful Boys where we answer your questions if you're part of the Patreon. Thank you guys for being a part of that.
Thank you.
Thank you!
Thank you.
We're hanging on because of you guys.
There's a dude named Chris who messaged, and he had a pretty interesting question to ask.
Please.
He's saying, how do I navigate the situation as a parent? His mom, actually I'm gonna talk as him. He said, my mom is lovely, but my dad is abusive. I want them both in my kids' lives, but I want to regulate the amount that my dad is involved and my mom is involved. He doesn't want them equally present.
What kind of abusive? Like physically or verbally?
This is all I got. And so he says
You have to guess.
he doesn't want the trauma to be passed down to his kids that his dad does to him. So how does he navigate with his parents still together to change the capacity at which each of them is involved?
I got
Supervise the shit out of it, I think.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm tagging again.
Yeah, I got this. Boundaries.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
All right, Bart, go ahead. Fill them in.
No, Nick's like,
hey,
I know what
Dad.
to do. Lock him in the bathroom.
Slit their fucking throat.
Do my pose.
You're like, hey Dad, it's okay if you jack me off, but you can't jack off my kids.
Yeah.
That's boundary.
That's boundaries.
You're like, I've healed now.
I feel like I'm in a similar situation, so I could tell you what I realized I had to do.
Yeah.
So, when my dad was around, I would tell my dad to stop giving Taika fucking sneaky chocolates.
Oh.
And I was like,
Use them with chocolate.
like, because one, he has ADHD, like me, and when he gets fucking high off these chocolates, this fool starts getting nuts, and we can't be sending him to school fucking ready to fucking go crazy. He's just nuts, right? Like, he doesn't, that's the last thing he needs. And my dad like, oh, go. And then when I'm going to the bathroom or not looking, like always sneaking fucking chocolates.
He does it more now.
Or if I'm doing fucking Taika's laundry, I pull out all these fucking Hershey Kiss wrappers. I'm like, I don't even get mad at him because he's the kid, right?
Yeah.
I get mad at my fucking dad. So what I realize is, I think when people want their parents in their kids' lives, a lot of times they see the convenience, like the free babysitter. But that's how the bad stuff also can get passed on. So actually, if you want your parents in your kids' lives and they have the tendency to pass on that kind of trauma, you have to be there to control the dynamic. So I actually didn't let my mom or my dad hang out with Taika without me there.
Oh.
That's what I think.
So it's like counterproductive to what people think. People go, here, yes, grandparents in the picture. See you later. I'm
on
gonna
the
go work.
club.
And then you come back and you're like, wait, how did everything I taught you get undone? Oh. It's like bing, 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 bing.
You're establishing like a culture. Like
Yeah,
it's like this room. Like for example, like ever since we become sweatshop boys, we know
The bond is stronger.
It's really tough to like even go to the bathroom or like, you know, at lunch times we're sometimes like, are we eating lunch today or are we also talking during lunch? And like this room used to be a lot more loosey-goosey than that. You know what I mean? But the culture now is more sweatshop boys.
Yeah.
And so there's more of like a pressure. So now even when we want to like go walk or something like that, we're kind of like,
Nope.
we got to be quick
No.
about it. And it used to not be that way at all.
Yeah. The next stage is actually gonna be diapers while we're
That's
just
great.
gonna
I
go
like that.
We're
through.
gonna be chained to the desks.
But you know what I mean? It's a culture, and the room has more of a culture in it now too. So I think Bart's spot on.
So yeah, if he has to be there with both of his parents, and he has to set the boundaries of the dynamic, and he can't do what he probably thought he was gonna do. Just let them go and hang until you can feel whatever you're trying to instill in your kid is actually there. Then you're like, okay, you guys can go and do stuff.
How about like in the situation where he really wants his mom involved, but really doesn't want his dad, but they arrive at the same time every time?
I think he should throw down with his dad.
You gotta fight your dad.
No, for real, dude. Like, I think there comes a time
Take him
when
out.
there is a change of power. Like, if you think about it, right? Like, there's a time when a man is like, now your son's the man of the house. You gotta kind of step away and let him kind of lead. I've seen a lot of families where they do fist fight, and like my brother fist fought with my dad, and I thought that was like, oh, that means he's the leader now. Like it's I don't know.
Ah.
Well, 'cause
Very Yakuza
especially-
of you.
Yeah,
es-
dude.
especially because
He's the dad now.
no,
He's big boss.
It's like
He'll sign off on my field trips.
if it's abusive. I think that's the key. Cause like you don't start punching your dad up if he's been a great dude.
That's true.
But if he's smacking you up and he's like, I ain't taking this shit no more, I'll smack back, and then it's like the rite of passage. All right, now you have to listen. Actually, this situation happened to my cousin where she, her dad's my uncle's a fucking maniac, and then he was getting mad at her kids because this was during COVID and they didn't want guests over. And then the kids wanted to be nice, so they were like, "Oh, we'll get out of here." But he was kind of using the kids as a excuse to not let guests in because he didn't, because whatever. But the kids were like, "No, it's cool. Like I'll be polite. I'll just go upstairs so you can have guests over." And he got fucking pissed. And then my cousin's like, "That's your fucking like problem. You wanted to use my kids as a scapegoat, and then now you're like screaming at them." So she moved out. So she's like, "Fuck this. I'm not gonna let you be violent to my kids." He didn't beat them up, but he was like, screaming at them. And then so she was like, the boundary was he can't have any interaction with them. And if he decides to raise his voice or do any of that, then he can't be around them at all. So it's like a hard boundary, right? Like she can't kick his ass. But I think it's like if you can't lay down the law with your parent, then how are you gonna balance that? That's the thing. It's like if you can't kick your dad's ass, if you can't tell him what to do, he's gonna slap you around. He's gonna slap your kids around. He's just uncontrolled. So it's like, how do you
kick his ass?
Yeah, kick his fucking ass.
Turns into a fucking duel.
The worst is having your kid see you get like manhandled
Who's
around,
boss, dude?
It's pretty bad.
right? It's like your kid's gonna have the image of you as their dad getting punked by your own dad.
Yeah.
Punk your ass for the rest of his life.
So you need to fucking have your kids sit there while you kumite with your dad.
Yeah, dude.
Come train with me for a couple months. We'll get you right. We'll get you your hands ready to go, and then you go beat the shit out of your dad.
Drag your dad's face across a bar top, dude.
7-0 skunk, dude.
What if it's not an option to physically beat your dad up?
Fuck.
Because for the mom's sake, where it would break her heart to know that.
Somebody's heart's gonna get broken.
That's true.
Yeah.
You would just have to, or you just tell your mom you have to leave the dad at home. But you have to set boundaries, though. You
gotta tell him what's
You
up.
can't like assume the best is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like what you want to happen, you have to set like the train tracks, and then let the train roll through. And if you don't like where the train's going, you got to move the tracks another way.
Also, does he know for sure that his dad, who was abusive to him, and this is an assumption, will be abusive to the grandchildren?
I think when he explained it, I think he's already had evidence of it, which is why he wants to like fix it.
And also, we don't know what kind of abuse. We're just thinking it's violent, like physical abuse. It could just
Abusive
be
to the
verbal.
grandchildren?
Yeah.
Sometimes they get to be softies when they're older, man. Holy shit.
My dad's like a softie now. I'm like, you never loved me like that, which is obviously wrong, I'm sure.
My dad turned into a softie, and then he still abused me. Because the time I put Taika in fucking timeout, he was like, "Oh, how could you do such a thing?" I'm like, "I wished I had timeout. You whooped my ass." You fucking dry his tears. Why'd you do that? Ow. Fucking make up your mind. Are you done abusing?
He still hates you.
Are you done abusing or not done
He
abusing?
didn't want Taika to see him like he was, I think. My theory is he didn't want Taika to see him like he used to be.
Yeah.
But you've already seen that.
Chance, yeah.
It's fine. He can hit me whenever he wants.
Yeah.
That's your
It's already been
relationship.
spoiled. Yeah. Damn.
You got a heavy hand, dude. God damn.
I just
Mitts.
think when you use that word abuse, that means if someone's abusive, that means you can't control them. Like you haven't established boundaries. You can't have them restrain themselves. So like if you like, how can you? It's like I want mom to come over, but I also can't control dad when he's over. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. Sounds like that.
I also feel like, it's different because my dad would just yell and verbally abusive or whatever, kind of. But like Joe had to put on fucking hockey pads to go through his house and shit. I just don't feel like I have a right to say abuse at all. Like,
Yeah, it's a different. But then I think if it's just verbal abuse, then you can probably do the whole "you can't see my kids" thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you like, that just sucks for the mom. That's just part of it.
That's part of
If
it.
you want to come see my
If
kid, leave him at home.
the
Yeah,
parents can't
damn.
split that up.
Yeah.
If the mom can't be like, look, you're too far, and she can't stand up for it, then it's like, then everybody just has to chill out until you're too old to like move quick.
That's true.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, your whole family is looking to you to protect them, whether like foreign or domestic, right? No matter what, like that you gotta be the protector, even if it's from your own parents.
I do think though there's a time when it's now your family, they're the priority, and then your parents are like extended family. You know, like there's now you have a kid and your wife, and I see this in a lot of guys, mama's boys is specifically, like they can't stand up to their moms.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you got to protect your wife. Like your wife is your priority now.
fact.
You better tell that bitch shut the fuck up.
That's right.
But they can't do that. And then now there's this weird dynamic where like he's just in the middle, like I don't know what to do. And then mom's getting, and then the wife is, and he's like in the middle, like I just feel like I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. What up, guys? Come join our Patreon because there's hundreds of videos dating all the way back to 2019.
That's right. If you click on the link down below, you could join our Patreon, join us on the Discord, come chat with us directly, have a fun conversation.
And this will help support the channel's growth and new ideas. And also tap into our closer community by joining our Discord and get the opportunity to suggest video ideas like the ones you've seen. Thank you guys. Join our Patreon, help us out. Thanks.
See you guys there. Say hi to me.
This happened in my sister's family in terms of not like abusive, but just like boundaries. Like my mom went too far with my sister's family, and then they got into like huge arguments and stuff, to the point where my brother-in-law and my mom had like a yelling situation before. And my dad, who was always cool, chill and stuff like that, that's the only time that he got mad, because no matter how crazy he acknowledged my mom can be, it's when the brother-in-law was yelling at my mom that my dad was like, you can't do that.
Yep.
That's true.
But regardless of how it went down or who's right or wrong, what ended up happening is my parents had to just have a period of time out. They just couldn't go over. So my dad just had to suffer it until like my mom could like slow her roll.
Was it clearly like your mom's fault?
Yeah.
And it's complicated. It was probably at your brother-in-law's house too.
Yeah, 100.
Under his roof. But then the dad has to step in because you have to be willing at his wife like that. It's just like so many layers.
It wasn't abusive. It was just a different version of raising kids, and like she's trying to like, no, you got to do it like that. You got to do it like, no, it's okay. You don't worry about And it's like, no, these are the rules that we're setting.
Undermining.
So it's totally just boundaries.
Yep. That's not your family.
That is a little tricky though, because that's a mother-daughter beef, and then like as a husband, as an in-law, right? You're like kind of stepping in, and
It's always
like,
awkward.
It is. But if it's your own mom and then she's being a bitch to your wife, I think that
Gotta do something.
That's your duty.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Gotta do
You
boundaries.
gotta handle that.
yeah.
Yeah.
One time I had to absolutely smoke my ex's sister because she was like wrecking my ex in front of her family. So absolutely demoed her in front of the family. But then I pulled the dad aside and the mom, and I was like, hey, I just want to let you know I apologize for doing that in front of you. I don't want to be disrespectful around you guys. So, but I really felt like she was being disrespectful to her sister, and they really appreciated that gesture that I like, because I absolutely like took her out at the legs. But then I was
Chop blocked her.
I was
Savage
very
Steve.
apologetic to them
Yeah.
for having to do that.
Nice gesture.
Yeah, that's great.
I think that's the way, because then you establish those boundaries and you go, I'm not here to just step on everyone's toes and shit like that. Like, I had to do that, but you guys are separate, and I would never do that to you guys. Like, that kind of thing.
And just in true JK fashion, just because we here as a collective believe that bullying in some degree is good, did the kids deserve it though? You know what I mean?
Kids tripping.
Was the kid just being?
Because what if the grandpa
Let's explore that.
is like, you soft ass bitch is raising another soft ass bitch.
No.
Are you being a soft ass bitch?
Yeah, you know.
Did he say that in there?
And no wonder you want your soft ass mom to come.
No wonder. That's why you're raising a little pussy boy right now.
We turn on him.
No wonder.
Hey, you know what? You're the problem.
Yeah, you
You
fucking.
need to man up, brother.
Of course you want your fucking mom and they come around.
Yeah, take care of your
I don't want to
family.
be too hive mind here, you know. I just want to like really understand.
Sometimes that does help to like to beat that into yourself, you know.
And then what's cool is you get to use it to your advantage. It's like, oh, dude, grandpa's me. You better fucking shape up. Like I'm the cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the good cop.
Grandpa's gonna fuck you up. He's gonna demo you.
In front of everybody, too.
I think it's easier. Do
Take you out by the legs.
you think it's easier to be able to like tell off your own parents or your in-laws?
My own parents.
My own parents.
Yeah,
My own parents.
my own.
Fuck.
Because then you gotta endure telling your wife, or in our situation, obviously, your wife to be like, yo, you gotta tell your parents. And then like 3, 4, 5 times it doesn't happen, then you gotta be like, now I'm gonna step in.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys had
It
to deal
changed
with
the
that?
relationship.
Have you guys ever had to deal with that?
Hell no.
In-laws?
Not like that.
I mean, thank God.
No, Gio's in-laws are so cool.
I didn't talk to my parents though.
They love me more than my parents love me.
Yeah.
Honestly, same.
Because you know what's
Same.
weird is that, you know, kind of like birds of a feather, right? Like, I don't think there's anyone in our group, or I don't really know anybody that is actually got such a powerful like mother that like they get pushed around like a little bitch.
That's true.
Like I just don't.
My mom tries to.
Yeah. But they exist, right? And like there are people like that.
If I had a kid,
Yeah.
I guarantee my mom would try to do the double momming thing. And I guarantee I'd absolutely smoke her for it. Guaranteed. If it was driving Nikki crazy.
I'll throw my mom under the bus when she's gone. I'm like, never listen to her. She's crazy. But entertain her because she's gonna soon, you know? So,
Yeah.
Don't make the sound effects.
So that just tells me we don't have an issue with boundaries and like setting those, you know. But like I think for the people that do, they don't even know how to confront that and establish a rule between
That's true.
people. So like that's the hardest part, I think. In this situation, I'm like, bro, like if your dad is abusive, why are you even considering that to be around your family? Like, and then if you can't control him, then why do you even give him even an inch to be around so he can potentially mess up? So that's what I don't get. But people be hopeful, maybe. I think they're like, maybe if
We're hoping for the best.
they'll change, you know?
they gotta understand, it's like, I was abused, and I'm pretty awesome. So my kid needs to be abused a little bit,
Just a little bit.
right?
A little abuse
I
ain't
mean,
bad.
Joe would sit in his house and get jumped sometimes by his parents.
Grandma too, tagging in,
Yeah, dude.
jumping up the top rope.
WWE, man. Fuck.
And just the renter roommate.
I'll never forget that story. Joe sitting there playing N64 because he just kicked out his parents' friends and told them, like, you're bothering everyone, leave. And then he's like, oh man, play a fucking Sega Genesis, let's go. And then he gets yoinked.
Oh, I totally deserve that
Oh,
one.
sick, dude.
It might also be different for like, because you never depended on your parents for anything when you had your own family by the time you had Taika. But I think there are people that depend on some sort of need.
So that's the thing.
So the power is
Yeah,
over.
so the power
Because I know that power dynamic,
Yeah.
I'd rather be homeless than ask my mom for help.
Wow.
Like even when
she'll hold it over your
she's
head.
my mom's like a very like standard Asian parent, where she was like when we first were gonna get our first house.
Yeah.
she's like, oh, can I contribute to the down payment? Because a lot of Asian parents do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I know the fucking stipulations that fucking leads to. So I don't even. I'm like, fuck no.
Yeah.
I'd rather fucking pay all these fucking taxes to Gavin Newsom to take your money.
Dang.
Well, because then it like she's like, oh, can I put this bird feeder here? And you're kind of like, oh shit, I have to.
Yeah.
I
Is
see.
that what you're talking
Daily, there's a dragon outside.
So like, I started to let her know. Like she'll give me random things. Oh, look at this crystal. And I'm like, if you give it to me, I'll tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna smile to your face right now. Oh, thank you, mom, because I'm gonna be a good son. As soon as I go home, it's going straight in the trash can.
Wow.
That's
You know
hilarious.
what? You make your decision, or you can give it to auntie. You can give it to auntie. She's gonna keep it forever.
A crystal.
That's so funny.
Because she tries to still.
So heavy-handed.
She still tries to be like a good mom, right? And does all those things. But I know what those things fucking lead to.
Yeah, it's stuff for her in your house.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
And then it's gonna be like, oh, but that thing in your house.
Yeah,
The fucking air fryer in your house or whatever.
yeah.
I think she doesn't understand that all of her actions are still selfish.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing to do with
Yeah.
you, and it just everything to do with her relaxing.
It's narcissist shit.
So I'd rather be fucking homeless in a cardboard box than fucking take
What if
anything.
she's like, here's a concept
good
2
parenting.
rower.
Huh?
What if she's like, here's a concept 2
Fuck, I
rower?
really want one, but they're on the 3rd edition now.
The new model though?
The new one.
I'll keep it in my neighbor's yard, so it's technically his. I use it every now and then.
Hey, can I come over? Use that rower?
Mom's like, I guess I'll have to put this dry fire laser sight in someone else's room.
Not the dry fire 3000.
Wait, where?
Not the dry fire 3000.
No, it's fine.
Wait, what? You can leave it here.
Oh, dude, it has the infrared lasers.
I was just looking at those. I was just looking at those. Oh my god.
Starts giving you gifts like that. Oh my god.